Hello, Pisces. Thank you so much, as always, you guys, for being here. All right, Pisces, looking at your second week of December, you pulled knowledge, reflection, and fragmentation. There's a lot going on here. But these two are connected in one thing very specifically, and it's about you being guided. So, knowledge is talking about how you are going to be divinely guided to learn something new, a new course of study. But I'm looking at this as like information that is going to be important for you to bring yourself back into wholeness. And I say that because of fragmentation. But this is being divinely guided to a certain information or something that you need to be learning now. And then reflection talks about guidance almost in the same way. It says the presence of this card invites you to step out of the realm of reaction and into the realm of reflection. It says take a full view of your life as a whole. Witness how patterns emerge and how God has guided you. Right? And then there's this message of like wholeness, needing that wholeness back. There is knowledge that you're going to be guided to that is going to, show you a more holistic picture of the experiences that you've had that have left you shattered. That's what fragmentation feels like to me. It's like a situation that, takes one part of us and just completely scatters it. And this is all about you coming back into wholeness, but it's also about looking at how you have reacted to those situations that have left you that way. But the thing is, this very much reminds me of part of the Eightfold Path in Buddhism, right? Right knowledge. That, I think, is going to help you come back into wholeness. And again, it's for those of you who are looking at areas of your life where you feel like you've just been like scattered and pulled apart. So fragmentation, it says when rage is projected inward, destruction joins confusion and we break. It says losing a sense of self is a crescendo of noise and a decrescendo of pain and a prelude to nothingness. So this may be a part of you that feels broken. And it's something that you've only been reacting to. And the knowledge there, I think, is going to be coming through to help you see how you may not have been aware of a certain element of, why or what the purpose of the experience was. For some of you, it may be more deeper spiritual knowledge as to like the workings of the universe when it comes to, the situations and experiences that we have. Whatever the knowledge is, it's meant to show you a better way of handling situations that leave you feeling angry over being broken and not feeling whole. Like that's the biggest message that I feel like is coming from this. It's all about you reaching a place of wholeness again. But the knowledge there, right? Like it has me curious. What information? Like, because one of the things that I think that I've learned the most over the last couple of years is that those of us who start asking the deeper questions are going to be shown some harsh realities before you see the opposite side of that. To have full spiritual awareness of the material experience, you have to experience the entire spectrum, right? And I feel like this is meant to answer some deeper questions. And for me, I'm immediately like, I want to know. I want to know. I want that information too, right? Like I'm always seeking deeper understanding. The Ace of Swords is your overall. That's beautiful. So a new beginning in truth and clarity. And this to me is also the aha moment. It's when all of, the emotional garbage in our mind finally clears up and we're not repeating the same thoughts, and then all of a sudden the answers finally come through. This is like the crown chakra opening up. and God just dumping all of that information in, right? So absolutely, knowledge may create an entirely new beginning for you right now. In the past, the Fool. So if we're talking about, situations from the past and you showing the Fool, it may be that, for a lot of you, you just kind of jumped into things, just having on pure faith, just going right into it. Whatever happens, happens. Whatever will be, will be. But it may have led to situations that, have left you fractured. And I say that because of the oracle cards. But here we're talking about you just jumping headfirst into something, taking a risk, and having faith in a new experience, right? The Fool. It's funny because to me, I kind of look at this as like, you have all the people down on the lower plane that have gone through the experience, right? And you're looking up and you see this new soul getting ready to jump into the physical, and you're like, what are you doing? Right? Like, no. Why would you want to do that? But for you, it's like, yeah, it's an experience, right? I don't know what it is with the Lovers, but the Lovers has been showing up for quite a few signs. So the Lovers in the present moment. Again, it's a significant relationship. It isn't just about somebody feeling the same way that you do or seeing things the same way. This is like the whole picture on how you want a relationship to be. This is, the end all be all, right? But again, there's the union that happens there. And this may be, what is happening within you. This, like, the Lovers, it's the connection of all of the experiences culminating into, this one energy of just love. And love being the highest vibration, right? Like, it's unstoppable. There's so much power behind that. So choosing love, significant relationship, feeling more whole again, right? Like having that wholeness. But for some of you, straight up, it's some kind of communication, new knowledge, new information, where you're able to pull on a part of yourself that has complete faith, and you jump into this situation where we're choosing love. And this is huge. It's huge. And for some of you, this may be something you've never experienced before. And it may open you up to a new awareness or new understanding with the Ace of Swords. Oh my God. The High Priestess. So, and I love this for you, and I look at the High Priestess and I can't help but think of Pisces, because the moon in tarot is you, and then, you being the ruler of the 12th, and then you look at the High Priestess and nothing is hidden from her. The moon is at her feet. So it's like experiencing both the confusion and the awareness of why, right? The High Priestess, this may be information that reaffirms something that your intuition has been telling you. Because this is like knowing something and knowing it to be true, even though there may not be any physical evidence of it, right? Now, secret love, sure. And it may be that now, there's kind of like this communication coming through that's reaffirming what you already knew. It's interesting, but it's powerful and it's huge. Your best path to follow, the Four of Pentacles. Somebody else had this too. And it's still the same message. Be aware of what you're hanging on to. And then not only that, but, there may be things that you're holding on to that may be preventing you from being able to give fully, which is why we're pulling on this energy of the Fool, where there's this light-hearted, sure, I'll go for this. And it's like you're wanting to bring that back through in connection to the Lovers. there may be a really very strong, powerful feeling of love that's going on for you right now. And it's something that I think that you knew and that you felt and you were aware of, but it's a matter of making that connection. And it's also about, can you trust it, right? And that may be where the Four of Pentacles is coming through as your advice. It's like, what are you holding on to that may have been preventing you from experiencing things to its fullest? And that may be because of this fragmentation, right? Like there have been so many different experiences in the vibration of love that have left parts of you in different places. And it's like needing to bring that wholeness back in, right? But be aware of what you're holding on to and what you're willing to give. Because that may determine how, things move forward, right? In your environment, the Six of Pentacles, there's an equal give and take that's happening there. And that's beautiful to see with the Lovers, right? And it brings in a new awareness with this Ace of Swords, but it may be, needing to speak about something that you've been keeping to yourself. And it's more about like trusting your intuition and that, yeah, there's this equal give and take that's happening. Maybe it is time for there to be open communication. And that may be another person, though, doing that for you, right? Like reaffirming what you already knew. Because there's this equal give and take right here. Where, before you may have been in situations where you knew that there were parts of you that you had to withhold. But now it's like, no, there's complete openness here for something different to be experienced. Wow, man. Your hopes and your fears, the King of Cups. Okay, so this is being able to not only trust what you feel because of, the maturity that's been gained through the experience, through, emotional connections and things like that. The King of Cups, there's the depiction of him on the island. And there's so much awareness of, how emotions affect other people to the point where, he keeps himself separate from being drowned in it. But it's funny because I'm hearing lyrics in my head from A Perfect Circle. This whole, needing to dis and reconnect to the resonance now, and you are never an island. So this may be about you fearing sharing, your emotional self. And that may be because of experiences that you've had. But the thing is, there's maturity here. And the other thing is can you trust somebody else who is reciprocating things on an emotional level with you? But yeah, I mean, love, right? And the emotions are just kind of flowing here. But this may be between two lovers that are keeping it to themselves too. But again, with that Ace of Swords, something's coming out. And as long as there's this equal give and take, right? Like I can understand where the fear is coming from. But, be open to, this equal give and take. And pay attention. Because how that communication takes place, if we're talking about, you and another person here, your intuition is going to tell you immediately what what the other person's intentions are. And I do feel like it's something that you can trust, right? Because we're still pulling on this energy of just wanting to jump right into it, right? And then coming out, why? The Page of Swords. And this may be why the Ace of Swords is the overall here. The Page of Swords. I'm not a fan. I fucking hate this card. I'm sorry. But I don't like dealing with that type of energy where information is being manipulated intentionally. And it causes you to have to look for the truth, to have to search for the truth. Right? So this may be, the guessing game that's kind of going on. Like, how does this person feel? I know how I feel. Right? But there's this reciprocation that's happening here. But do you trust it? So this may be, like, hey, I have questions. And this is where the door opens to communication and a new beginning. And you're going to get a response. Like, you will get a response. That, or you're going to be responding to somebody else that's going to be going, hey, you know, what's up with you, Pisces? Right? Wow, man. The Two of Swords, okay. And that's kind of why, you know, the Fool is what you're trying to pull through. Death, damn, man. Now you got Scorpio showing up. And then the Two of Wands, perfect. Okay, so certain things, and here's what I want to say because of the Page of Swords coming out. There's certain information that may like stop you and make you decide that, you know, I want to be involved with this, but based on this information, maybe I can't. And that's where, you know, there's this need to make a difficult decision with the Two of Swords, and, you know, you're wanting to jump head first, but there may be some information that kind of pauses you for a second. But the thing is right, like, things do not ever stay the same. Change is constant. And it may be time to kind of let go of certain things that may have been blocking you from making decisions on having a connection. So the best way to describe this would be like talking with somebody who is currently involved, but clearly, you know, there is a want to end the relationship or to experience something different. We put the label of feeling bad about it onto that, right? But shit happens. Okay? Shit happens. People feel the way that they feel, and sometimes things are worth taking a risk on. And I feel like those kinds of things and that type of information, for example, may have stopped you from experiencing something that is equal to what you are giving and what you are wanting to receive. So with death, we're talking about that's over. Transformation has to happen. And it's almost like the universe coming through and going, you know what, we're just going to drag you along here because it's all about you and coming back into wholeness. And that may be facilitated through an equal connection with another person and an open communication that's happening here, right? So with the Ace of Swords, you know, even though with the Page of Swords we're looking for more information, because of the Ace of Swords being the overall, there's still truth. There's still truth and clarity to any questions that there may be had on either side, right? And then when that's over, you get to move into a place where you get to decide on whether or not this is something you want to act on. Oh, it's so like straightforward, but yet so complicated. And, you know, for me, right, like my mentality is when it feels right and it feels good, the smaller details can be worked out. I always lead with the emotions. The emotions are what pull me into wanting to take action. And with Pisces, I'd imagine it's the same thing, right? Yeah. Yeah, initiative. Surrender. And then inspiration. So needing to take the initiative to surrender to the inspiration of the experience that is happening, instead of focusing on little details that really don't fucking matter. And that's what I feel like with that stupid Page of Swords coming out. You know, it's funny because there are so many other cards in the deck that you think would irritate the shit out of me more, but it's that one. It is that one. Apparently that's something that I need to deal with internally, right? Yeah, I'm telling you, the answers you need are coming. You just need to ask the question and have faith in your dreams. Beautiful reading, Pisces. I love it. It's so nuanced, and there are so many different things going on, and there are different ways of interpreting this. But I'm so like honed in on two people opening the door to communication and there being an understanding of questions that you have. But not only that, but the choices that you make based on those answers. I love it, and really I would so appreciate any comments that you guys have in, explaining your view on this or what you may be experiencing. Because I can't help but go back to those oracle cards and feeling the hurt from this fragmentation and having a part of myself feeling like it's been shattered by an experience. But the resilience that's showing up in this reading is absolutely beautiful.